Hello and welcome to my new video. This time I will speak about a very timely issue, the impact of fireworks on birds. This has been examined before, of course. Birds will flee when confronted with fireworks. The publication presented here primarily addressed the extent to which this occurs. How did they measure the number of fleeing birds? The authors used radar data produced for monitoring rain or snow. Flying birds are visible on radar as well. The data analyzed were taken from the Netherlands, which is an ideal location for research like this. First reason, people from the Netherlands apparently love fireworks. While constituting 3.8% of the EU population, they are responsible for 22% of all imports of fireworks. Second reason, the Netherlands are densely populated and at the same time host a large population of birds, in particular overwintering migratory birds like geese. As a consequence, the conflict between fireworks and protection of birds is particularly pronounced. The extent of the disturbance of birds was one question by the authors. They also wanted to know which birds in particular are disturbed more strongly. For this reason, they combined their radar data with other data sources for the area under research. First, the authors added habitat data, which means data for the distribution of settlements, forests, lakes, and fields. This allowed to ask questions about the effect of distances to a firework. Is there a distance where birds no longer fly up during the fireworks? It also allowed to address the effects of habitats themselves. Do birds from a forest fly up to a similar degree as birds from a lake? And second, the authors added data on bird size distribution. How big are the birds in a given area? Does this have an effect on their inclination to fly up? These data had been collected by citizen scientists in a nationwide survey, which makes this publication also an example of a successful citizen science project. Last not least, there were radar data. These had been obtained for the areas indicated here on the 1st January 2018 between 0.5 and 0.10 CET in a night without rain. As a control, similar measurements from nights free of rain from December 15th to 25 and from January 5 to 15 had been taken, avoiding the time period around New Year's Eve. What are the results? Above all, fireworks resulted in a massive flight of birds. Averaged over the whole area, 1,000 times more birds were aloft than in normal nights. Second, the strongest effect was observed, of course, close to settlements, but differences between a normal night and New Year's Eve disappeared only in distances of more than 10 kilometers. Third, larger birds have a higher probability to fly up than smaller birds. And fourth, birds from open habitats like lakes or fields fly up more often than birds from forests. And what does this tell us? Okay, many birds will fly up, but does this hurt? It does. It corresponds to a massive use of resources for the birds in a moment, winter, when resources are scarce. There are rare reports about massive bird die-off after fireworks, but they are. In most cases, it will rather be an additional stress factor to populations already under stress. From a conservation point of view, it will be important to identify particularly vulnerable groups and to set up firework protection zones. The authors of the paper presented here are not sure, however, whether the establishment of such zones really can be sufficient for protection of birds.